My guy. So, as y'all know, Mississippi just passed the Jim Crow law. Just history repeating itself. But there's something that y'all don't know. And I need all my people to listen. We gotta wake up. Because it's that time. See, because what y'all don't know is the Jim Crow law is actually associated with the Bible and the curses that was put upon his people. So I want to answer this woman's question.
I'm so fucking scared. It has just come to my attention because I didn't know about it just until today. In Mississippi, there was just a law passed like 5 days ago that the Jim Crow laws are being reinstated. That shouldn't be happening at all. And I know you may be wondering, this is like not my normal content on here, but I'm sorry. And I just have to make this known because what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Why? I really don't understand why people do not like me. Do not like us. Because of my color of skin. I don't understand. I really don't fucking understand. What the fuck did I do?
You didn't do nothing. But our ancestors did. The Jim Crow is resurrected in Mississippi. Did wokeness do this? As a matter of fact, it did. Now, some of us who have learned the truth are not surprised by this. It may alarm the sleepwalkers. The Most High have already told us that they will have hatred towards us. All you gotta do is read the word and the curses put upon his people. See, their problem is they finally starting to realize that they wicked rulership is almost up. But I ain't gonna lie, we finna go through some battles, and it's gonna get worse before we leave. We warned our people that are sleepwalking that these nations hate us. And it has nothing to do with skin color. It's because of who we are. The tribe of Judah. The real Jews. It was prophesied that we would be hated throughout the four corners of the earth. What y'all need to find out and learn is that the Bible is our history book. Not a Christian book. Our ancestors were not Christians. They was Israelites. It's time for y'all to learn the truth. And this has nothing to do with religion or tradition. My motto will forever be relationship over religion, truth over tradition. It's that time. It's time for y'all to learn who y'all are. And it's time for y'all to gain a relationship with the Father through his word, not a religion. Now we gonna start off with, who is this? Who is this? Cause the show ain't Yahshua. Cause if the Bible's saying that his hair is white like wool, and I mean white like wool, just like this, where did the brown hair even come from? If it said his skin color was the color of fine brass, burnt in a furnace, and I mean burnt in a furnace. This is an actual picture right here of someone burning fine brass. Then where did y'all get white from? Or even the olive skin color y'all keep claiming. Y'all just don't want him to be black so bad. Y'all just make up any lie. And he was born in Israel, which is Northeast Africa. Y'all stop saying Middle East. It was not called the Middle East back then. It was a part of Africa. So you mean to tell me when they had to hide Jesus, Yahshua, in an all-black place in Africa to blend in with the people?
There are so many things that black people know about themselves. And especially you'll find they know this in spaces where those folks never wanted black people to know. You see, for the longest time, the narrative has been make black people do not understand or get confused about who they are, or get confused about the historical things that they did. But because they know that this is the most powerful information that they can have, or this is the most powerful information that they hold about black people. So when you see black people come together and talk about something that it was never expected for black people to know, then you know that black people are powerful, black people are knowledgeable, black people so much intellectual. right? Because there are so many hidden information that are not being taught in schools. There are so many hidden information that they don't want black kids to know. Because when black people know while they are still young, that makes them so powerful. That makes them so powerful because they know who they are. And so they'll not be depending on the narrative of other people that don't look like them saying who they are or how powerful they are. I remember for the longest time, there has been a movement, there has been a debate to make black people feel like they are not the chosen people, or to make black people feel like they're not the Hebrew Israelites, because this is something that has been happening for a long time. And even the schools want to teach black people this because they know that there is something important in stake for black people. That when they teach black people these realities, when they teach black people these truths, somehow it's going to make white America, or it's going to make Donald Trump and his groups to make black people don't learn about their history. Because that's what these people fear so much. They fear so much when black people get all this information. They fear so much when black people go to libraries. And that's why sometimes back, Mr. Donald Trump started banning the black libraries, saying that they are so much insensitive to other people. But understand that this is so much because they are saying, because I think he said that what people are reading in these books is so anti-America. But right now, as we are talking, who is anti-America? Who is doing the things that America don't want him to do? It is Mr. Donald Trump. And so majority of this information that we are seeing right now, it was never meant to reach black ears. But right now we are learning. Right now we are seeing history in the making. And black people are making moves all over the world, and we are getting to see this. So brothers and sisters, I want you to watch this video, and then I'm gonna be back. I'll be giving my 2 cents in regards to this. And if you're watching me for the first time, man, I'm just asking you to please help me by subscribing to the channel. I'm asking, please help me by subscribing to the channel so that we can all get to learn. When I post a new content, you'll be the first one to see. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
You saying that they hid a white man or an olive skin color man in a place full of black people? It's impossible. Which is common sense that he had to be black to blend in with black people. Now I'm finna tell you why his skin color got something to do with the Jim Crow law and them trying to bring back hanging and lynching. Now, in the Bible, Pilate's wife had a dream about the Messiah. When she seen that the people was trying to kill him, she pulled her husband aside and said, "Have nothing to do with this righteous man." She said, "I suffered much suffering in a dream today. Have nothing to do with his killing." So Pilate turned to the people and said, "I don't see nothing wrong that this man is doing for me to kill him." Pilate was talking to the Hebrews, our people. He said, "If y'all decide to kill this man, the blood will not be on my hands. It will be on y'all's." So then the Jews, aka Hebrew Israelites, mistakenly said, "It's okay. Put it on our hands, our children's hands, for generations and generations. Crucify him." So then it was so. So from then on, we was cursed to die the same way he died. Now they like to tell y'all that he died on a cross, but that is far from the truth. The cross is one of the main graven images that he talks about in the Bible. The word cross was never even in the Bible to begin with. It was added in there from a pagan god they called Tammuz. The cross is a symbol of the first letter of his name, a T. Now, if you look at the history during those times, you would know that if you were worthy of death, you had to be hung. It was the law. Acts 5:30 even told you that he died from hanging from a tree. There was a divine curse placed on a hanged person. And if a man has committed a crime punishable by death, and he is put to death, you hang him on a tree. For a hanged man is cursed by God. And when they had carried out all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in his tomb. The same way they do us till this day. For what our ancestors have committed, it allowed us to be punished the same way he was punished. I'ma show y'all the curses that was put upon us. Slavery and captivity having no power to stand against our enemies, being sent back to Egypt again by ships, exiled in the land of our enemies, scattered among all nations, a very sick and disease-stricken people, at the bottom socially with other races high above us, lost the true knowledge of who we were, and will be called by many scornful nicknames other than Israel and Hebrew, which is still happening to this day. Packed into prisons and jails, a non-prosperous people. We even hate each other and oppress people by our enemies. The world will not tell you who or where the Israelites are today, but the scriptures will. There's nothing new underneath the sun. There is nothing new. Our sons and daughters will be given to another nation while your eyes grow weary, looking for them day after day with no power in your hand. With no power in your hand. With none at all. The cross story couldn't be real if they wanted it to. How did they nail his feet and hands to a cross when it says that he protected all his bones? Not one of them is broken. There would be no way to hammer a huge nail into someone's foot to hang without breaking a bone. There's no way. This is the real reason why no bones shall be broken. The sad reality is, if we continue to disobey, we'll continue to pay. So please, it's time for us to wake up. Stop letting them brainwash you and make you forget who you are. Stop letting them make us feel like we are nobody, because they know who we are. Our people back then just didn't know how to read and write. So they didn't know that the Bible back then was made for them. They felt like it was a horrible, horrible book. But they didn't realize the truth was inside of it. But now it's our time to make up for it. That the truth of who we are is inside of it. Our time is coming, and they know it. The Bible is our true history book. The problem is we let everybody get into our head. Why do you think there is thousands and thousands of religions, but only one true God? All trying to praise the same person, but giving them different names. That's because you were supposed to gain a relationship with the Father through the Word, not a religion. And that's where we as a people fall at.
Know that not all black people are Africans? There is a group of people that are blacks but did not originate from Africa. They originated from Negroland. Now, before you call me nuts, let me apologize to you in advance. I'm sorry they did this to us. I'm sorry they erased our true history and taught us a false one that did not teach us about who we truly are and where we truly came from. But most importantly, I'm sorry that we did not hearken to the voice of the Lord our God, because it is our disobedience to him that led us here. I'm sorry. No, I find that the majority of people who reject this knowledge are pastors and preachers who have been trained in seminaries by white scholars to learn the Bible a certain way. You see, they were trained to educate us with white thinking as it relates to the Bible. Let me quickly put your preconceived argument to rest. This is not a race thing. This is a truth thing that unfortunately the white man has used the race card to achieve. Because when they sold us this blue-eyed white Jesus, everything was okay, right? But we're now in an era where the math is no longer mathing and we have questions. The angel had told Daniel in Daniel chapter 12 verse 4, shut up the book until the end, because in the end times, God had planned on setting some things straight. The fact that we're being blessed with this knowledge today means it's end times, baby. Let's get into it then, shall we? There is a place called Negroland, represented on this map between the region of Guinea and the Sahara Desert. The same area was also called Negrita or Negritia, but today it is divided into West Africa and the Middle East. But there is a people that originated from the country of Negroland that are now scattered across the four corners of the earth. And here's why. Firstly, There are a list of curses in Deuteronomy chapter 8 that God said would come upon the children of Israel if they did not listen to the Lord their God and hearken unto his voice, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes. Long story short, they did not keep his commandments and his statutes. So what he said in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 25 took effect as a result. He allowed these Israelites to scatter all across this world, and strangers came and dwell in their land instead. How did the strangers get there? There was a Jewish and Roman war in the 66 to 70 AD, and that war expelled these Negroes once and for all. As a result of this war, the Negroes fled their land to Egypt. Then from Egypt, them run away and go to Africa. Now, these Negroes are a black race, so they blended in pretty well in Africa. But it was said that these Africans did not want these Negroes in their land, so they sold them into slavery to the white man. I know the truth might cause an offense, but it's not sin, and it will set you free. When these Israelites, or Hebrews, or Negroes, came to Africa, they settled mainly in Nigeria and Benin. Some of them are still there, but the majority of them are scattered across this world. If we ever find out who we really are, the people that say they are us are in trouble. This has got to be the greatest hoax in history. Revelation 2 verse 9 says that there are a group of people who are false because they call themselves Jews but are not. These Jews are white folks from Khazari because the last time the true Hebrews were in Jerusalem was in the 70s. It is said that the so-called Jews who are now there are converts, and they are from the Caucasus Mountains in the southern hemisphere of Russia. Their king at the time, King Bulan, said that both Muslims and Christians were coming against his kingdom. So he didn't want to be Muslim, neither did he want to be Christian. So he decided that he and his people will be Jews. King Bulan then sent to Jerusalem to get Babylonian Talmudic rabbis to teach them Judaism. So they converted the whole country to Judaism and called themselves Jews. When Hitler decided that he wanted to get rid of these people, they had to find themselves a homeland. Since they were already Jews, they felt entitled to live in Jerusalem. And in 1948, with the help of the United Nations, Britain signed a declaration to give Israel to the Palestinians because they were living in that land at the time that the Jews migrated. So these are white people living in one of the most hottest places on earth with no true heritage to the land. But because they are your bankers and they own your Federal Reserves and your media houses, then we just go with it. Now back to the Africans who sold us out. Yeah, I said it. So, the war was to genocide these Hebrews, or Negroes, once and for all, but you can never kill purpose, can you? The Negroes fled to Africa and were in the Kingdom of Judah, the same place the slave coast is, the same place they get their gold and their grains. The 1771 map actually removes the Kingdom of Judah, but of course they wouldn't want us to really trace where we came from. During the transatlantic slave trade, these Negroes were sold into slavery to North America, the Caribbean, and South America. Are we still here today? Absolutely. Isaiah chapter 11 verse 11 says that it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time. Sounds like he has freed us before, perhaps out of 400 years of slavery in Egypt. He will set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. The word remnant means a part or quantity that is left after the greater part has been used, removed, or destroyed. That means that our Father have 99 sheep and one that is lost, and he's coming back for that lost sheep. That means that of the 12 tribes of Israel, the others know who they are, but the tribe of Judah is lost, and lost in the sense that they do not know who they are or where they came from. To wrap this up, there is a reason why Christ said in Matthew 24, don't be fazed by the wars and the rumors of wars and earthquakes and pestilences, etc., because the end is not yet. In fact, Christ said that And this gospel will be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Not only is he bringing salvation to the Gentiles, but he must also take the gospel back to the lost tribe of Judah that is scattered to the four corners of the earth, so that they can understand that, yes, I allowed you to be scattered, but just like a parent who chasten and love their child, he is coming back for his lost sheep, because his love for us would have it no other way. And he made a covenant with our father Abraham that he will never break. Where you are now is not where you originated from. Why should a black man be called Mr. White anyway? Wake up, Judah. It's almost time to go. Hallelujah.
I went down to Illinois to Reddish and vote. I got down and made my revolve back. My landlord said unto me, if you don't go down and take your name off the registration, to move. I took his word and I moved to Drew, Mississippi. Couldn't get too much pressure to be on the landlord there. Had me to move on to Cleveland, Mississippi. After arriving to Cleveland, Mississippi, my wife, she had to go to the hospital down to Jackson. It's there on the same generation. And I didn't know what step to take. I'm still working. 9 girls here. I'm working, trying to take care of them, to the best of my knowledge.
This is Mrs. Mildred Evans. She's 32 years of age. She's lived on Mr. W.D. Fields' plantation for 11 years. She's the mother of 8 children. Her children do not attend school regularly because of food, clothing, and money. Last year, Mrs. Evans made 11 bales of cotton. At the end of the year, she only received $123.
I am 17 years old. I pick 300 pounds of cotton a day.
I am 9 years old. I help my mother pick cotton. I pick 100 by day.
I am 14 years old. And I help my mother pick cotton. I can pick about 200 a day.
This is Mrs. P. Williams, the great-grandmother of the 5 children here. She receives a small Social Security check each month, and from this she must help support the children so their mothers earn and take care of them.
The reason I do, because my mother worked a crop and I had to help her, and so I quit school so that I could help her.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, as you know, I'm your host and presenter, Agent Stories. Let's have a talk, let's have a chat in regards to a couple of things that I believe that we need to talk about. There's so many information, and I'm saying again, there's so many information that was never meant to reach black people because they perceived it as something which is not good for black people to know or to have all this information. But I'm glad for the work. I'm glad for the knowledge and skills of how our ancestors were able to make this work out. How our ancestors were able to, make this information reach the world, because they made sure they told every part of black history. They told how they were being treated, and that's just become part of history, which is so much important and one of the most powerful things, because one of the most powerful things that history tried to hide from black people, it is how much resilient black people are. It is how much powerful black people are, and who are really the black folks. There's some different historical accounts that explains the origin of black people. But at some point, you'll realize that all of them still merge at some point and make sense. But that's just a topic for another day. So, I really want to know what you think and feel about this, because I also watched the video, and I can honestly say that I'm really happy to see all these things happen, to see the truth reach majority of people. Just to have this conversation, that really makes me happy. There's so much information that the world has tried to keep from black people. But at the same time, the same that they have tried to keep from black people is now being disseminated, and people are getting to learn. People are getting to understand all these concepts and everything that is happening right now. Because for the longest time, that's what they ever wanted. They have ever wanted black people not to have all this information that they have right now. Sorry. So when you see black people getting educated about their history, when you see black people start taking spaces and educating each other, black people advocating for separation from all these other groups, it's because they have understood, they have learned how important they are. And it's not that they're trying to make other people feel less of anything. No, it is because for the longest time, all these other groups of folks have tried and make black people look like less. While in reality, black people have never been less. So black people are protecting their energy. Black people, they are moving to places that they are valued. So that totally makes that totally makes sense when we talk about this. And so I don't know what you think about you all about this, but I think that it's important that people understand that there is control. There is a divine control that is going on right now, and God won't let his children, the chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites, to just suffer like that. He himself has a plan, and he has a plan for black people. And there is something that is going on. So I really want to know what you think about this, because there's so many misrepresentation about black people. There's so many misinformation about black people that has been shared out there. But it is upon you and I to always let people know the truth, always share the truth, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. So please let me know what you think about this, right? Let me know what you think about this. And as you know, I'm your host and pre Zenta Ejidok Stories. And until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salut.